Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video Addicts. Let me give you a preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first are some strange lights taken from a plane over the South China Sea. Also have this video of a strange ball of light followed by a helicopter. Let's see, this video is called Standard Saucer. It's a pretty clear video of a saucer. Also have this little GIF poster here of the different types of UFOs that have been seen throughout the years. And this video is about this guy here who talks about the breakaway civilizations, which, I think may be some of the people that occupy some of these crafts. They're not all our neighbors and they're not all military. Let's see. Also have this video about the Hubble ultra deep field. It shows this 3D version of, of our galaxies, which, it's an amazing amount of time. This is an amazing video of this robot making these real human-like facial expressions. And then the last two are about these ancient, highly advanced civilizations. This is about the Minoans. These people were building these amazing structures like this 3,500 years ago. And then you got these other people called Nan Madol, which is an advanced city built around 14,000 years ago in the Pacific, by the Micronesian islands. But anyway, so let's check out this video here.
I don't know what that is. That is some weird shit.
4735, between 120, decimal 7 today. Between 120 and 7 today, we need 275.
Yeah, that's as much as I want to play. But anyways, these lights just disappear into this cloud bank here. But the link will be in the description. You want to check that out. Let's see, this is from Kansas. Saw what looked like a really bright white ball being followed by a helicopter. What do you guys think? Let's check this out. Anyways, okay, that's that. Let's check out this next link here. This is title is just Standard Saucer, just recently uploaded. But this video, I'm sure I've seen this video before, but anyways, check this out. Interesting. I'd say this is U.S. military testing out some of their equipment. Anyways, this link here is to this JPEG. It shows, all the different types of crafts that have been seen throughout the years. Check out this one here, 300 to 3,000 meters in length. That's 3,000 meters, what, 1.8 miles, almost 2 miles long. And a lot of these crafts, they're not like one-offs. A lot of these crafts have been seen on multiple occasions, which is why I believe, that these things have to be our underwater neighbors. Some of them, would have to be the so-called breakaway civilizations, some military. And then, of course, there's going to be the ones that we see maybe a few times or just once. Maybe those are visitors. But I think these ones that we're seeing on a regular basis have to be our neighbors. And, of course, they may have different shapes crafts for different functions. But I think in the same way that we have such diversity within our species, for instance, like when the Russians build their jets, the Chinese build their jets, and I think even the Indians now are building jet craft. But we all have our own particular style of building. I mean, it's all based on the same principles, but it's slightly different. I think it may be somewhat similar for our neighbors. I think there's just as much diversity, within our underwater neighbors as there is with us. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around accepting the fact that there are species out there that look reptoid or look like lizards or look like insects. But it's something that I have to accept because it's most likely true. I think a lot of these a lot of the descriptions of people who have been abducted. There's a huge variety, but a lot of times the people that are doing the abducting aren't wearing any type of life support system. They're breathing this air. So I'm going to assume that they're, most likely also from this planet. But anyways, link to this will be in the description. Let me go to this video here. Yeah, so now this guy here talks about this breakaway civilization that, that I learned from Richard Dolan, and I guess he did too. But anyways, check this out, what he says.
And to explore this very complex material.
Well, let's begin with defining just exactly what we mean by a breakaway civilization.
Well, the ufologist Richard Dolan has coined this term. He wrote a series of books called UFOs and the National Security State. And from the title of that book series alone, you can see that what he's getting at is the possibility that the UFO phenomenon is somehow connected to the U.S. military-industrial complex, and not just in terms of the latter covering up the UFO phenomenon, but potentially fielding the UFO phenomenon. So Dolan speculates that it's possible certain scientific and technological breakthroughs have led to a culture so different from the public culture amongst elites operating in the black world, that this culture could really be properly characterized as a breakaway civilization. In other words, that scientific theories have been developed and technological breakthroughs have taken place inside the covert world of the military-industrial complex, which have led to a worldview so radically different from that which is publicly accepted, that the people operating in terms of this worldview, who've internalized it and who are pursuing projects on the basis of it, really live in an alternate civilization, and one that's forked off of our own. And their technological advancements have also allowed them to develop a relatively independent economic and industrial base, so that although in its initial stages, this breakaway civilization was parasitic on our economy and industry, it has to some extent been able to develop an autonomous industrial economic structure.
And that's as much as I want to play. But, essentially he's revealing some of the most powerful, wealthiest people on the planet, and, and how they operate and how they're able to maintain and how they acquired that wealth. But he gets into some of the other secret societies, and again, revealing the workings of some of the most powerful people on the planet. But anyways, a link to this will be in the video. Let's go to this one here. Yeah, this one is just about this this photograph that was taken. This ultra deep field image. I mean, it in the end they show you the amount of space that they actually took it from. But let me just play a little bit of this. Imagine these dots are so far away. But let me just jump ahead where they do the 3D thing. And then real quickly, let me just jump ahead to show you, the area that they took this from, which I find just amazing when you think about the amount of space that's around us and the number of possibilities. Yeah, I can't even imagine a number that big. Look at that. Imagine the number of stars that were taken from that little tiny square. And then, the number of those little tiny squares that's completely surrounds us. And the idea that there are people who think that, that we're the only, intelligent life out there, or that if there's other intelligent life out there, that they're too far away, and that, they haven't developed or they haven't had enough time to develop ways to cross, all this amount of space. Or even if they're doing that, I'm sure they're using wormholes or using the other gravity amplification systems and things like that. But anyways, the link to this will be in the description. Yeah, this video here is kind of scary because this is, definitely we're entering into a new world. Well, I can just see it in the near future. That thing's going to be asking me, I need to see your vaccination card before you can purchase these groceries. Anyways, let's go on to this next video here. Yeah, this one here, this guy explains how on this island of Crete, there is these highly advanced people. And his explanation for the way they got there is that they somehow got lost, or, were fishermen from some of these other islands. And then they just, through storms or whatever, ended up on this island and then started to build these amazing structures. But let me just play a little bit of this.
The Minoans developed a unique hieroglyphic script, possibly inspired by their contact with the ancient Egyptians. This was gradually replaced by a more functional-looking script, creatively called by historians Linear A. Unfortunately, neither of these scripts have ever been deciphered. Well, at least for now. Maybe one day, one of you will decipher it, and we can learn much more details about Minoan economy, history, politics, and religion. In the late 18th century BC, A massive series of earthquakes appears to have rocked the island, destroying at least 4 of the island's most important palace complexes, and much of the surrounding cities and towns. This destruction and death might have been enough to cause the downfall of a less robust civilization, but in fact, it seems to have had the opposite effect and strengthened the Minoans' resolve. All the palace complexes and destroyed buildings were quickly rebuilt on a colossal scale. The largest palace at Knossos covered 6 acres and had more than 1,000 rooms.
Again, this here, 6 acres, more than 1,000 rooms. What would be required to build this today? If we were to build this today, it would require, first of all, a whole bunch of money. It would require people with architectural knowledge, with engineering knowledge, with advanced mathematics, with knowledge of advanced mathematics, right? And then also, where's the equipment? In order, to make this, you have to flatten, you have to grade this area. Where's the equipment that, that graded all this area? There's no evidence for that. There's no evidence that this culture progressed to a state where, they have the ability to build these things. This culture was literally everything about them, their social system, their social hierarchy, their government administrative system, the clothing, the unique architecture. It all just developed on this one island at one particular point in time, with no indication, like I said, of a development or a progression to this state, which to me would make me believe that they either came from another planet, or maybe, this idea of underwater civilizations have been around for a long time. And, and sometimes I think that maybe these cultures never disappeared. I'm sure, by this point, a lot of of their descendants have become a part of other cultures. Could it be possible that whoever the people were that had the knowledge to build this stuff, maybe they are also a part of this breakaway civilization, and they're the ones that are flying around in these crafts. Yeah, but this idea that the first man walked out of Africa and all the other cultures evolved from that, it doesn't add up. There's no way that adds up. And here's another ancient culture, 14,000 years ago, somehow on some tiny Pacific island, one of these Micronesian islands, that some people just got there by accident and then knew how to cut stone and build all of these amazing structures. They just woke up one morning and knew how to do it. Yeah, I'm not buying that. I think somehow the people that built these structures already had the knowledge. So if they already had the knowledge, the question is, where does the person with that knowledge come from? If it's not from one of the pre-existing cultures that that were already present at this time. But anyways, that is going to be it for this video. If you like things like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll have more things like this. Take care.